Hello, everybody. MegaZardX here, back at it again to give you another very exciting. Ooh. Okay. I'm sorry, bro. All right, chill. I know this video is all about y'all, but like, golly, I'm like in the middle of my opening. Like, this is all about y'all. Like, sheesh. All right. Anyway, where was I? Have y'all ever thought to yourselves, with the production line of Amiibo currently where we're at right now? You start looking into the forecast of like future Amiibos. I know we have like some Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Amiibos with Mythra and Pyra, but then outside of that, with some newly announced ones like Noah and Mio, I mean, there's nothing else in the pipeline. I was just kind of thinking about this myself, and I was like, you know what? I was like, what is Nintendo's mindset with Amiibo right now? Because we used to, mind you, back in the days, those early days with the Amiibo craze, back with the Smash 4 days on the Wii U, we used to get Amiibo popping out left and right. Obviously, you're covering that big roster for Smash Bros., but then it also spiraled into like all these other Nintendo games back within the Wii U era, even into the Switch's early life as well. And since then, where we're currently at right now, we just have a little bit of Amiibo drops here and there. And since we're also in the completion of the Smash Bros. Ultimate line of Amiibo as well, it just made me start to think and wonder. I was like, is Nintendo going to keep sticking with Amiibo right now, or are they actually going to switch things up and kind of pivot their focus towards something else? And could Amiibo be a thing of the past, or will Nintendo continue supporting it though? So in today's video, I just want to kind of give a status update of where I think Amiibo is at in its current state in 2023. But if you hadn't already done so, make sure you go and hit that like button, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and that bell. That way you can stay up to date on all things video game related I feel like talking about and discussing. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight into this video. So several years ago, back in the year of 2014, right before the lead up of launch for Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U, Nintendo came out and said, hey, we're going to do these Toys to Life figurines where you're able to actually use these Amiibo, be able to tap them onto your Wii U gamepad, and be able to actually implement those characters into your actual games. You can either level them up, train them, and do it like a myriad of different things in each individual game. It started with Smash Brothers and it spiraled out from there. Obviously, you can use Amiibo on your Wii U, your 3DS, as well as like your Nintendo Switch right now though. So between all three of those, like remember they used to have like that little bit of like an NFC reader, even for those old school 3DSs that couldn't naturally support it before they even had the new Nintendo 3DSs that could support it, and you just drop it on that second screen like that. Since then, the Amiibo craze was wild during those days. I remember those Amiibo were selling out left and right. You were lucky to get certain things like Palutena or stuff like that. There's some crazy stories with some of these Amiibos like that though. And honestly, it was really cool for the time. Everybody started collecting those where you kept them in box. You like to take them out of the box. Maybe you had a copy, 2 copies so that we can keep one in box and one without. People built these huge, massive Amiibo collections. And the craze was wild during those Wii U eras, and it continued into the Nintendo Switch. But I felt like once we got to the Nintendo Switch era, that was like 2 different eras of where Nintendo was at, because the Wii U era, obviously their console wasn't doing that good. They were doing a little bit more gimmicks and stuff like that, versus the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo started to pick the ball up a little bit more. They kind of learned from their unsuccesses from the Wii U, and they kind of learned off of that. And then I think more of their focus went towards the game development side of things and pumping out those games, and Amiibo were kind of like an afterthought or whatnot though, especially since they had the 3DS to lean on and support during the Wii U's era though. So Nintendo was very experimental though, but I really do like these Amiibo that they managed to drop out over time. I mean, like the Guardian Amiibo, chill, man. Oh my gosh, dang. But yeah, like the Guardian Amiibo, he's like one of my favorites. Corn's really nice as well. I have to have my mascot up in this little video though. The Metroid Amiibo one, like he's so squishy. Like I really just like this one so much. And then you have your Inkling one, and then you got like your Edgelord over here separate. Bro, chill. You can't play that thing right now. I'm trying to make a video. Like, what the heck, man? Jeez, I don't know what's up with these attitudes with some of these Amiibo though. But man, they have some really cool, unique designs. This is some of my favorites though. Obviously, you'll be seeing like a lot of B-roll footage for a lot of different other Amiibo that I've been collecting throughout the years. I think my collection's kind of close up to like 88 plus ish, I think the last time I counted, and I know there's gonna be more added into my collection. I don't know, by the time the Switch's life is done, I might get very close up to like having 100 Amiibo. Like I'm starting to notice on my shelves, I might need a second shelf or something like that. I just have that many though. But they came out with some really cool, neat designs, because even when you looked at the designs of like some of the classic Amiibo, like if you go all the way back to your original days with like the original Mario Amiibo as well as the Legend of Zelda Link Amiibo, you can tell the difference in quality, because I think at the time it was like priced at $12.99 or something like that as an MSRP, and now most of your modern day Amiibo are coming out at like the average price of like $15.99. Like you can see the quality between two different Amiibos. The difference is like night and day between the two different ones. So it was weird when they first upped the price of it though, but after looking at the quality of it, I was like, that was really nice. And I really do like the fact that they did do Amiibo, for the fact that this is a cheap alternative way to get some figurines, because there are also some other figurines you can go out and buy, such as your ones from like Good Smile, where you get up into like the $100, $200s, or $300 worth ones. And yes, I do own a Mithra and Pyra figurine from Good Smile. You'll probably be seeing the B-roll footage right now on that one though. But yeah, so you got like expensive ones like that, which is really nice to have those, but there might not be the most budget or cost effective for most fans out there. By having an Amiibo that was priced around $12.99 or $15.99 MSRP, that allowed people to actually do some collecting with their things. So even if you weren't using like the Toys to Life feature that are up with Amiibo with certain different games, at least you can just have them for just collecting. That's personally where I started hitting that. I started collecting a whole bunch of these. In 2017, my very first Amiibo I actually managed to get was the Wolf Link Amiibo. I remember because you could use that Wolf Link Amiibo in Breath of the Wild, and as well as Twilight Princess. You train the thing in Twilight Princess, and depending on how much time you put up into that Amiibo, whenever you brought him into Breath of the Wild, he actually had a little more heart, so he can actually, live and serve you. You can go around attacking different enemies, bring stuff back to you, items. It's a nice little companion thing. I'm still a little bit salty that feature's not in like Tears of the Kingdom. Like, come on. All that thing does now is whenever you skin that thing, it just gives you a bunch of meat. Okay, I guess. But yeah, so there's honestly some really nice, cool little features between all of them though. And then we got into like a weird era with these Amiibo where at one point, they were locking some things that would be like some really good quality of life features up in there. Because, I felt like they hit a happy medium with most of these Amiibo though, but some got a little bit iffy with the content. Like, for example, this Metroid Amiibo right here, you don't even want to know the price of this thing though, because literally this Amiibo is the only way how you get the fusion mode within Samus Returns on the Nintendo 3DS. So some of them got crazy values like that. In more recent memory, you got like the Zelda and Loftwing Amiibo, where with that feature, you can actually go up to the sky at any given point. You can still technically do it within game, but it's a little more convenient if you have the Amiibo. So you started getting into some weird, iffy territory, and I think that's the one thing that Nintendo was trying to balance back and forth, was the fact that how do you balance the good quality of life stuff that you can put up in there, or some things that might give you an advantage or something like that with an Amiibo, and still have a nice, good balance for people that didn't buy the Amiibo. That was kind of where it got a little iffy. However, things that I thought it really excelled in was like way back in the day with Mario Maker, you can scan a myriad of different Amiibo and you were able to actually get like these different costumes and stuff. Instead of just using traditional 8-bit Mario or something like that, you can actually scan Link up in the thing, and then now you're moving around with a Link skin essentially, or a Samus skin. The list kind of went on and on and on. I feel like Mario Maker on the Wii U had the best use for Amiibo, and I was like, since then I felt like a lot of stuff, they did kind of some good things here and there though, but nothing on the level like that. It kind of surprises me with Amiibo how they hadn't just made like a dedicated Amiibo game, like make an Amiibo universe or something like that, so that way it takes advantage of every single Amiibo you might have in your collection or whatnot though. Maybe you go through like some kind of RPG experience, you're either leveling up these things or whatnot, or interacting, battling, something like that. I don't know, there's a lot of different ideas you could possibly do for an Amiibo branded game. Then again, I guess it, all your money is really going into collecting the figurines or something like that. I'm just surprised they hadn't done anything like that to really give like a really good incentive to going out and collecting like a whole bunch of Amiibo like that. I don't know, that's just kind of one thing I was kind of pondering right there though. But you know what, while I got y'all here, we might as well go ahead and run through some statistics on the success of Amiibo, and why I think that they might take a different approach here fairly soon here in the nearby future. So according to some statistics, by September 2016, Nintendo reported that 39 million Amiibo toys have been sold, along with more than 39 million Amiibo cards. By September of 2022, the total sales actually managed to reach 77 million toys though. So let's go ahead and break that down in a year by year, just to kind of see some rough averages. So between 2014 and 2016, roughly about 39 million sold in the first 3 years. So that's about 13 million per year. However, from the years of 2017 to 2022, so that first chunk of time, that was like the Wii U era. Now 2017 to 2022, that's roughly the Switch era. Roughly about 38 million sold in those 6 years. We're about roughly averaging 6.33 million per year. This is the Amiibo figurines. So looking at those numbers right there, during like the high Wii U time, during that Amiibo craze, you know, we were selling gangbusters, but roughly once we hit that Switch era of things, like the Amiibo sales nearly dipped down in half. Maybe you can attribute some of that to the fact that Nintendo started to kind of shift their focus off of Amiibo. So honestly, they weren't making as many since, you know, they got most of the Smash Brothers ones out there in the wild and whatnot though. You can attribute maybe some of it to that, or maybe just people just kind of slowly lost interest in it or whatnot though. There could be a myriad of different reasons why though, but that's just some of it right there. And if we were to look at some of the past Amiibo that we gotten, let's just go ahead and roll through some B-roll footage and see exactly, you know, some of the last Amiibo that we managed to get from, you know, the launch of 2017 up until where we're at currently right now. All right, so if we look back in just recent time with the Switch era, because that's when we kind of noticed that the Amiibo were kind of dipping. You have like the Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Zelda, Rider Link, Archer Link, the Guardian Amiibo, which that one was really nice. I have that one here in front of y'all. That one's really sick though. The Bokoblin Amiibo. Then you had like some Fire Emblem Echo ones. Remember, this was like during that transition where we still had a little bit of 3DS games out. You have some of the, you know, the anniversary series Legend of Zelda Amiibos like Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, Majora's Mask, that Pikmin one, got all of the Splatoon ones, Splatoon 2 ones right there, got a little bit of Face right there, the Cloud Amiibos, the Bayonettas and Bayonetta Player 2s and stuff like that, the Samus and Metroid Amiibos from Samus Returns. Remember when Chrom and Tiki dropped out with Fire Emblem Warriors, the first one? Man, I forgot about the random Koopa Troopa and Goomba ones. Obviously got the Mario Odyssey ones right there, all the Breath of the Wild champions and stuff like that. Detective Pikachu, that's one I really did like a lot because that one was it's literally the biggest figurine one that we ever had. If you want to talk about Amiibo period, there's technically the Mega Yarn Yoshi, which I really wish I had that sucker. Like, oh man, but that sucker's so expensive in the secondary market right now. Marina and Pearl Amiibos, you got some Octoling Amiibos as well. That really Amiibo, man, that sucker is sick. Wolf, and then this is where we got in their Smash Bros. Ultimate line, so stuff started picking up again once again. Inkling, Piranha Plant, King K. Rool, Ice Climbers, Young Link, Ken, Daisy, Pokemon Trainer, Pichu, Isabelle, you know, like the list goes on and on. Nice that we managed to get a Snake figurine as well. Shoot, that even Link's Awakening, a random game like that, managed to get some. Obviously, you got a few more Smash Bros. Lines right there. Dark Samus was really sick. Joker's really sick. I think that's like one of the sickest Amiibos right there as well. You got Hero, all going back up until like you got the Zelda and Loftwing Amiibo right there. The Emmy Metroid Dread one is actually really cool. I mean, that's like a recent modern example of another Amiibo being made outside of the Smash Brothers line. Min, Steve, and Alex. And then you have the Splatoon 3 ones, which is our most recent ones right there. And then you got obviously Sephiroth, Kazuya, Link, and then Pyra and Mithra. So that's basically all the ones that we know that are 100% have already been out or slash we know that are coming. Now there are a couple of more ones as well that are coming out here fairly soon that are actually aren't on this list. So they also managed to confirm that there is going to be a Noah and a Mio Amiibo from Xenoblade Chronicles 3 as well. They haven't announced that right around the time that the Xenoblade 3 DLC was dropping out for Future Redeem. So we do know those two are on the way, and that's it for all confirmed Amiibo. I still think there's a chance that we should be actually able to get the Sora Amiibo, which technically would be the last Amiibo in the line for the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Series. It'll be weird to do everybody but Sora, so I feel like that should very well likely happen. If we get DLC for Tears of the Kingdom, I'm thinking we probably should get an Amiibo for that one as well. And it's weird how we have like a Link Amiibo. We could get an updated Zelda one. That would be kind of nice though. Or I'm thinking we're probably going to get a Ganondorf one. It's like, when was the last time we got like a brand new Ganondorf iteration? It wasn't back until like Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. So I was like, it'd be cool to get that brand new sick design for Ganondorf. That would be really nice. And then could be 2 other characters that I know it's still kind of recent on some people's minds. I won't actually mention the names of it though. But you know, the dude that actually you get to see back on the Great Sky Island, you know, there's that dude as well as a woman that's closely associated to him. So I think you have like a lot of different options you could do if they drop DLC for the game. And then lastly, I think that there's a good chance we'll probably get some more Splatoon 3 amiibo, because considering the fact that at least with the Splatoon ones, we managed to get the idol amiibos for, you know, Splatoon 1 girls, Callie Marie, and then we got Pearl and Marina. So I think it's a good I'm sorry. There's a good chance that we'll probably get another Inkling amiibo for basically Shiver, Fry, and Big Man. So I think there's going to be a good chance we're going to get all 3 of those as well though. So you know, between all of that, that's pretty much it in terms of most amiibo. And outside of that, I really don't honestly see any more amiibo coming out between, like, let's say if the new generation Switch comes out in 2024, I think between now and then, everything I basically mentioned, that's probably all we're going to get. So that leads to the big question of, well, what's going to happen beyond this year? I honestly feel like we're at the point now where I think Nintendo, looking at the success of what it did during the Wii U era, and then seeing, you know, the money it's kind of making them during the Switch era, when we move to Generation X, I feel like they'll probably still continue the line of Amiibo. It's still kind of very nice and unique, especially if they do another Smash Brothers game. They might as well kind of keep rolling these characters along with it though. But I think they're going to still slowly drop Amiibo out. I just don't think it's going to be at the rapid pace that, you know, we saw back in the Wii U era, and then maybe even a slower pace than kind of what we saw within the Switch era. Like, even recently, they confirmed Noah and Mio amiibos are coming out when they dropped that Xenoblade 3 DLC, and that kind of seemed like an afterthought. That's something you would kind of think, at least with those 2 amiibos, that you would have dropped at launch or prior to that DLC dropping, but it seems like it was kind of more so an afterthought or whatnot though. So it kind of makes me think, you know, Nintendo's not necessarily highly prioritizing Amiibo though, but they still care about it to a small level of degree to where they're still going to give it to the fans. So I think that's currently where they're at right now. So I think your big Marios, your big Legend of Zeldas, your Smash Brothers Ultimate, I think occasionally maybe you get a Fire Emblem thrown in there. You'll occasionally get a Kirby or something like that. And then obviously like your big Splatoons, maybe an Animal Crossing here and there. I think just some of the biggest household names. And then, you know, they've been doing some good love to my boy Metroid over here as well. I'm sorry. They've been doing some good stuff to my boy Metroid over here though. So, you know what? You know, I think it's just going to be the big household names that they're going to focus on with dropping more amiibo on. So that's just kind of currently where I'm feeling right now at the moment. So it is a little bit unfortunate that they're not pumping out nearly as many of these things, because I do like collecting, you know, a whole bunch of amiibo and stuff like that though. But at the same time, kind of saves on my wallet, so thank goodness for that though. But overall, I just like having the different options to be able to own all of these different characters and some kind of cheap figurine things where I don't have to necessarily buy a Myth or a Pyra figurine and cost up in a couple or a few hundreds. Like, you know, you can't always afford and go out and do that kind of stuff though. But it's just nice to kind of have something tangible for some of your favorite IPs. Hence, that's why I managed to collect up to like almost upward of 88 plus amiibos though. But I think that's pretty much all the stuff I kind of want to get out within this amiibo centered focus video right here. So I think amiibos are here to stay. I just don't think you're going to get into the, you know, nearly as high quality in the sense that we're going to get like a huge quantity of them dropping out back within that original amiibo craze back in the Wii U era. I just don't think we're going to get that anymore. They're here to stay, but just they're not going to be super predominant like what they were in their early years. But yeah, y'all gotta let me know down in the comment section down below what all did you think about this video in terms of amiibo. How many amiibo did you manage to go through and collect? Like, you know, how many do you have up in your collection? Do you like actually collecting? Do you manage to try to get every single amiibo, or do you only go after certain series or whatever ones that actually look cool and stuff like that? I will give some credit to the Monster Hunter amiibos though too, because those ones look really sick. I managed to get my hands on some of those as well though. But yeah, so y'all just gotta let me know down in the comment section all about that. And then what about the State of Amiibo? Do you think they're going to continue it? Do you think they're actually going to drop it when the next system comes out? Y'all just got to let me know. So that's going to basically do it in terms of this video though. So if you really like it, make sure you're going to hit that like button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell to stay up to date on all things video game related I feel like talking about and discussing. So remember y'all, until whatever video I make next, see y'all. Man, don't kill me over here. Like, don't kill me, man. Like, gosh dang it. Okay, I better go before these things have a connection fit. All right, see y'all.